All right, everybody, welcome in. We are live for the Eric Metcalf episode 21.
21.
That's right, 21 weeks ago. Can you believe that? Of the Barking Brown Show, I am your host, Jacob, over at Roachism13 on Twitter, joined as always by my wonderful co-host, Nick Carnes at Carnesies817. Nick, how are we doing tonight?
Hi. I'm bouncing back. You know, I was struggling there after the Browns lost for a little bit. But you know what? So after you look at everything and after you've taken it all in, there's a lot of good that I'm sure that we're going to get into tonight. And so I'm feeling a little better. You know, slowly but surely working my way to Texans week.
I promise you that I have a lot of stuff that you are going to like tonight.
Okay.
I've scoured the internet. I saw the one thing on the internet I never thought I would see, a depressed Nick Carnes. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. So we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that tonight. Guys, right out the gate, I want to thank everybody for all the comments, the likes, the subscribes, the 5-star ratings, everything. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, on the Twitter. You guys have been beyond awesome to us. We are forever grateful for all the support and the love. The most valuable thing you can give someone is your time. You guys are choosing to give us some of your time. We are incredibly thankful. I am wearing this hat. This is the hat the Browns gave away at Baker Mayfield, what ended up being Baker Mayfield's debut the Thursday night against the Jets in 2018. It wasn't supposed to be his debut, but this is the hat that I didn't know, right? I was paid for. I gave him my ticket. They said, grab a hat and enjoy the game. And I'm like, whoa, hey, what? So that's where this hat comes from, for anybody that is curious about that. So we're going to jump right on into it tonight, guys. Last week we had 2 episodes. We did the Nostradamus episode followed by our KC preview episode. We will be doing that yet again this week with later in the week for our Patreon members. We've been plugging the Patreon for a while. The Patreon is definitely helping the show grow as I have been studying film now for the Houston Texans. I've watched their game once. I'll watch it again so we can dive and preview them. That'll come out Thursday for the Patreon, Friday for everybody else. So without further ado, Nick, why don't you introduce our special guest?
So, you know what, it was originally, we had this plan for a couple weeks ago, and it ended up not working out that way, which I'm actually kind of excited about, because now we actually have a real game to talk about. So I think it actually ended up being better. But he's a personal favorite of mine for quite a while now, and makes content that I don't think anyone else. He's in his own unique, awesome space, and I love it. And so I think this is going to be a really fun show. It's definitely going to be special to me. And our guest is none other than Joey Kinsley, Sir Yacht.
Boom! What is up, man?
Hey, I'm here. Thank you. Thanks for the introduction, Nick. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That made my day right there. Happy to be on. You can just tell everybody it's because I fucked up. We were all good to go, and I forgot. No, I forgot I was in the Central Time Zone. I was like, I have an NFL draft, or a fantasy football draft. I can't. I was like, can we move it back? And like, no, we have to do it now. I'm like, fuck. So not me. But anyways, happy to be here. We're here talking about the Browns, and let's do it.
I didn't know until today that I was this mad about this topic. So I have to give my opinion on something, and I want you guys to weigh in as well. And I did not know I was this mad until I've seen it for the last, 48 hours since the loss. I guess it's been roughly 48 hours since a little bit more than 48 hours. I've got an issue with the phrase moral victories. I want to say fuck moral victories, and not them themselves, but you telling people that there's no moral victory. No team is going 17-0. I don't see it happening ever again. 16-0, that was great. How many teams have had perfect seasons? So you're telling me that I cannot look at any football game that ends in an L and say that something good happened in that. That is what Brown's Twitter has told me for 48 hours. So I am actually here to say I hate the phrase moral victories. Please get it the hell off of my timelines, because I looked at the stats. Baker Mayfield was phenomenal on Sunday. He's being tripped trying to throw the ball out of bounds. That does not erase the 75% completion percentage, the 321 yards on only 21 completions. By the way, if you take that, he had 28 attempts. That's 11.4 yards per attempt. I can't fathom this. I was not allowed to be happy. I'm not happy they lost. Please do not think that. You should not be happy they lost. But you absolutely should be able to celebrate the things that went right while critiquing the things that went wrong.
No, 100%. And no, it's if you like saw the positive in it or realize, like Nick has tweeted, Baker outplayed Patrick Mahomes for 3 quarters. We played the number 1 offense. We played arguably the quarterback who could probably might beat Tom Brady for the best quarterback of all time. We at this point last year, we got absolutely smoked by the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah. At this point this year, yes, we had turned the ball over, you could say 3 times, and blew this lead. But you're not allowed to be happy. You're not allowed to think that good things happen. I want to tell those people to shut the fuck up. The Browns are here to stay. They proved they're fucking Super Bowl contenders. I'm telling you. That's an AFC Championship rematch happening in January. I'm telling you.
You know what? You brought so much positivity, Joey, and I think the 3 of us are all kind of on that same wavelength. And I thought about it, because all these people are upset, and they're saying, a loss is a loss. And so if you fast forward and that's in January, right? Like, I think then you say, okay, well, that sucks. And, and then you can't take as much good from it. But we're in week 1 here, right? We're building towards everything that we want. So all the good things that the Browns showed, and then you combine it with the fact that they've got 8 new starters on defense. You look at that and you say, okay, they can grow. They can be so much better than they just showed. Like and I told people this so much, the Browns don't have to be a finished product yet. Right. And so it's
playoffs are in January, not tomorrow.
And it maybe, so if they were returning the whole defense, if they were returning, obviously they're returning the whole offense basically, but if the whole team was intact, like Tampa Bay, then maybe you say, okay, where's this team going? But there's so much new to them. Like this is the last thing I want to say. We saw how much the Browns offense specifically grew from week 1, like you guys both referenced, to the whole season. So the defense can do the same thing. And that's what I keep telling people. It's like, you don't need, as these people are like, fire Joe Woods and all this other stuff. It's like, dude, we haven't even seen, we have not seen anywhere near what the defense could be yet.
I'm sorry that I laughed in the middle of that.
No, it's cool.
No, I did too. I think you were looking at the comment.
I was looking at Ed's.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I laughed too.
Getting me pumped up like dudes on Addy at a Jake Paul fight.
That's not wrong. There was a ton of people on Adderall. There were a ton of fights at the Jake Paul fight, like just a bunch of fan fights, people that thought they could do shit. It was kind of funny to watch, but it was a different crowd. But no, last year we absolutely got the fucking door blown off us, like against Baltimore. And we won 11-5 and beat Pittsburgh in the playoffs. We won a fucking playoff game last year. And now people are going to be mad because we lost by 4 fucking points to the Super Bowl winners from 2 years ago, the people that went to the Super Bowl a year ago, the best quarterback in the NFL. We're going to be mad. Yeah, like the defense needs work. Baker unfortunately turned over the ball after he was going to throw it away. Nick Chubb fumbled it. When the hell does that happen? Nick Chubb never fumbled.
He has 4. I looked it up. He has 4 in 4 years,
and two were against the Patriots that one game.
Got kicked out by a foot. Like some bullshit.
I'm fucking telling you guys. Like we also have. Oh, by the way, the coach of the year from last season. If anybody's going to make adjustments, it's going to be him. We play the Texans, we play the Bears, we play the Vikings. There is no doubt in my mind that we're going 3-1. So. Look, yes, we should have won that game. Is it frustrating? Absolutely. Like, it was just so much anxiety, so much, like, just absolute depression. But you have to take a step back. It is week 1, like you said, not week 18, not the playoffs. If we would have lost the Jaguars, I would have been like, How the fuck did we just lose the Jaguars? But we lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. We lost to Patrick Mahomes. They're just gonna make. It's like people are like, how are you gonna let him do that? How are you gonna let Patrick Mahomes walk in the end zone and do that? Because he's Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. They have the best tight end in the NFL. They have the best wide receiver in the NFL besides Devontae Adams. Like, come on.
And the thing that gets me is I've seen so many people that act like it was not a 4-point loss.
Yeah.
Four.
It's like that holding penalty. This is one thing that gets me. That holding penalty right before the half that could have been that took us out of field goal range and caused that really wild Hail Mary on 4th and 31. Eventually,
the coolest play I've ever seen in my life.
So sick.
But if you get that field goal, you were looking at a 1-point game on that final drive. Let's catch up on these comments real quick, and then I've got a couple of things that I want to say about the defense. Everybody agrees that no one likes a depressed Nick, so we need to see that.
I saw that. I agree. We need more smiles, Nick. Nick's smiling now, so it's all good.
Yeah, I'm cool. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're good.
It was kind of an interesting thing that our boy Dan said. He's like, well, like who did beat KC last year? Well, it was the Raiders, because that's really weird. By the way, Joey, do not ask Nick about the Raiders.
I hate the Raiders.
I got him to drop his first F-bomb on the show, and it was about the Raiders. I didn't even know it was coming. He just goes, fuck the Raiders. And I was like, whoa.
I hate them. I hate them so much.
I saw your tweet.
Oh, God. Dude.
Okay. Here's something I want to add, too. We talk about the 8 new starters on defense. Can I point out, too, that Ronnie Harrison left after 5 snaps, which then brought in MJ Stewart to play a new position.
Yeah.
That leads me to something I didn't know we were going to start very early in the show with, but I want to talk about my favorite surprise from Sunday.
Okay.
From a guy that played last year, not a new player. I spent all offseason dogging MJ Stewart. All offseason. Didn't play. Did he play at all at the preseason? I think the last time he played was the orange and brown practice, I think.
Okay.
I don't think he played in the preseason. And we were told, he's kind of moved to safety. He's kind of like corner 5.5, safety 4.5. You're like, oh, cool. This guy, like, because he was a 2nd-round pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like the guy's got talent. And I dogged him. He was bad in the playoffs. He's always Johnny on the spot with a few interceptions. He makes some plays here and there. Last year, he had a 41.6 overall grade for the length of the season, according to PFF. And then I noticed before week 1 that he was firmly on the safety spot on our depth chart, which I thought was interesting because they didn't list him as a corner. They listed him strictly as a safety. MJ Stewart finished with, I believe, the 5th, maybe the 6th highest grade on our defense. He actually graded with a 68.8 at a new position at safety. I think MJ Stewart looked more natural as a safety than he ever did in the slot. And I just wanted to say, I'm sorry to MJ Stewart. You looks like you worked your ass off. You played really well. You did it against the Chiefs. And man, I hope MJ continues to play like this at safety.
I agree. We'll see. Hopefully Ronnie Harrison doesn't get ejected again. But speaking of some people we dogged the entire season that are getting new opportunities maybe elsewhere. Did you guys see Andrew Sandeo got signed by the Colts today?
Sure did.
I did.
We tried telling people. We tried telling them. I don't know.
John Hilberry tried to tell everybody.
John Hilberry. 23. Yeah, employee 23. He tried, man. It's like what Dennis is trying to do with Mack Wilson.
Right. Yeah. You know what? I do want to say one thing, though, that you know what, and there's so much good from the Browns, but one thing did frustrate me. I watched Monday Night Football last night, and I watched 2 teams that literally both did not want to win that game, that made mistake after mistake.
Which, by the way, if Baker Mayfield would have made those mistakes, he would have been fucking crucified today.
Oh my God!
That Lamar did.
Crucified.
Coward tweeted something today, or he put something on Instagram and everything. He talked about it on his show. He said Derek Carr did something that Baker did not do last night. What? Yeah. Get another chance from his defense? Because he threw a fucking interception to give away the game. They were on the 1-yard line. They got our false start penalty. They're on the 6, throws an interception, and then but he got another chance and then threw a wide open touchdown because Marlon Humphrey blew fucking coverage. But yeah,
Marlon Humphrey gave up.
Yeah, that's what I was. I was talking to you guys. I don't know if you watched the Peyton Eli stream, which was unreal. ESPN did the best thing that they've done in years. But Russell Wilson was on at the end. He is having the three of them talk is like, and for free. You're like, are you kidding me? Like, this is free. But even Russell Wilson's first, like, nobody was like reacting because they're like, Marlon Humphrey stopped, so it seemed like it was a dead play. Like it was blown dead. Everybody's like, why the fuck did he stop? It's a bad look. It's a bad look. Anyway, sorry, tangent. But if Baker would have done that, but you're right. Nobody wanted to win that game last night, Nick. Nobody wanted to win.
And then you before that, you watch Bills Steelers where Ben throws for 188 yards.
How many completions?
How many completions?
He's elite,
18
dude.
for 32. Whoop-de-doo. Look at you go.
18 for 32 is 50.
Like 54.
I'm messing my hair up doing all this because I'm frustrated.
So Baker threw for 140-ish yards more yards on 3 more completions.
Let's see.
Listen, I don't want to. You know what? We'll bring it up.
We're preaching to the choir here. I mean, we're all preaching to the choir. It's just it's the narrative, dude. It's cool to hate on Baker Mayfield. You get clicks because morons like me make content about it and talk about it, and people tweet about it. Yeah. But like they know it works, so like they're just gonna continue to do it.
That's just my thing though. It's like the Browns had to be, and obviously you're playing like the winner of the AFC the last 2 years, but it's like the Browns had to be so damn good and fall just short.
Just to lose by 4.
And so I look around the rest of the AFC specifically, and it's like all these teams are literally giving the ball away and are somehow getting victories. And so that to me is like the one thing that sucked, right? Is because like you knew that if the Browns play that game against basically anyone else in the AFC that played this weekend, they come out with a win. And so that, I mean, that sucked. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. It's one game. It's okay.
Offense or defense, guys? Where do we want to focus first?
Let's focus on defense because there are 2 things that I want to address that have been commented in the chat. Yeah. So Extra Crispy Wing says that Harrison ejection was shit. 100% agree with that. I also want to talk about Mack Wilson, which Browns fan for life brought up as well. But we can talk about Harrison first. So Harrison ejection. I didn't know you could be a coach and push somebody, and then they push you back and you get ejected. Yep. Like, and I didn't know. Also, I did not know that New York could speed up the process, or they could chime in about penalties. Yeah, apparently, and this is what I heard during the broadcast, so I'd have to refresh. But apparently, you're able to if there was a flag. So because they threw a flag, a personal foul, they threw that 15-yard penalty on the Chiefs coach originally. And because that flag was thrown, they were allowed, New York was allowed to review it. So New York is the one that has to say, we need to review this. Like they can't go to New York and say, we're going to review it. I'm not sure about that. I know that the flag has to be thrown for anybody to review. It has to already be out there. Because that was so surprising that they were going to do that because they eliminated the challenge for coaches to do that. But so that ruling, I mean, I thought Harrison was going to get ejected. I was so surprised when he wasn't. Yeah, that ruling pissed me off just because the coach didn't. But I like that they can review those plays. I do like that. But they messed it up so bad. They messed it up. I was with a group of people, and when they initially called against Kansas City, because I looked at it and I was like, oh shit, Harrison's gone. Harrison's gone. Okay, Kansas City, and we're like, yeah, this is great, right? Yeah. Everything's great. And then after further discussion, it's just I get it. I understand you can't push a coach, but it just. And for everybody saying that Ronnie stepped on that guy intentionally, he didn't. Get over. So dumb. So no. It's just people are miserable. There's no way he did. Like you just look at it. There's no way he did. Yeah. Gene says, according to the national media, Ronnie Harrison ripped someone's helmet off and committed murder. You would think that. Also, we got a few people weighing in that the Browns game is re-airing on NFL Network right now for anybody that wants to
put that up. This is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to see if I can figure out this rule about flags being reviewable. So I've got my second screen on here. So I'm going to try to figure this out because when
I just, you know what, with Ronnie Harrison, it's like, dude, Grant Delpit's not active, man. Like, and I understand it's natural, right? Because he's not doing anything. He's just trying to walk back, and the Kansas City offensive lineman's in front of him, right? So he can't walk back, and then he gets shoved by his coach. So I get it. You lose your temper. I understand that, but man, it's just like I know he has every right to do what he did, but it's like. It's never the first guy. It never is. And like the announcer's like, oh, well, we want to catch the first guy, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, you don't. Because if you did want to catch the first guy, you would have kicked that coach out of the game.
Ejected the coach.
But so that's not what it's about, right? So it's like, and I think it was like Miles said, it's like Ronnie's just he's gotta be smarter. And like I get it. I still feel for him, but just without Grant Delpit, then and so the Browns really did what they needed to do, right? They kept Kansas City's offense off the field for the first half. And so like, I thought, I mean, a lot of people are like, well, the defense was like terrible on third down. But when you look at it overall, I mean, they gave up 29 points to the Chiefs. That's not, considering the fact that it's the Chiefs, I mean, that's not bad. Ed's over here.
Ed's comment.
I'll get it up there. Hold on.
So true.
I gotta find my mouse. Sometimes my mouse gets over on my second screen.
Bro, while you're doing that, I don't know. It just doesn't. I mean, what pisses me off? That is such a funny comment. That is hilarious. Ed is killing the chat right now.
Shout out to Ed.
Ed in Columbus, baby. What after the review? From my understanding, is it was a 15-yard penalty originally on the Chiefs coach.
Yeah.
After the review, it seemed like the penalty was only on Ronnie Harrison. Did they, or was it like 15? Did it cancel?
Yeah, it was offsetting.
Okay, that's why I was like, all right, I just thought of that now, and I was like, I would have been way more mad if that was the case.
It looks like somewhere around 2015 or so, they started. I just don't think it's happened much.
No, that's crazy. I thought it was this year because I've never seen that happen before. Like that's something New York is like, we have to talk about this. That's crazy.
It looks to me like it was partially around when they did the reviews of pass interference.
We need to get Ed off of here because I'm going to be laughing every time someone's talking when he comments.
He's great, man.
He does this for like an hour and a half. It's great.
This guy's so quick-witted. I love it. Yo, so look, I get why he did it, like you said, Nick. Like it split-second decision. The coach comes up out of nowhere and unjustifiably shoves you. I get it. But Ronnie Harrison is a veteran.
Yeah.
He 5 plays into the first game against the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat you with fucking Chad Henne last year, and you get ejected. That's on Ronnie, okay? I'm pissed about it. It sucks, but that's the rules. I thought before, I'm like, Ronnie's getting ejected. For sure getting ejected, no doubt about it. So that's on Ronnie.
Yeah. You know what? You referenced Mack, and I just want to say,
oh, let's go.
I just doing it? Dude, Jadeveon Clowney had Mahomes dead, like 10 yards in the backfield. And I'm like, he's going to get him. He's going to get him.
That was
amazing.
That was tack going.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it?
The touchdown run? Are you talking about the touchdown run? When
that was Clowney would have got him. Clowney would have got him.
Well, I'm dumb. So
no, you're not.
But my point is, it's like, man, I just like for a split second, and the defense did get some stops. Credit them. They held them to field goals, which is, great, and even forced them to punt. But man, I just for the play to go from potentially like a 10-yard sack to where I know we're about to go right now, it was just.
Go ahead.
So a month or so ago, I on this podcast said "fuck Mack Wilson." That is a thing that happened. I was attacked very vehemently by the Mack Pack. Oh, he's changed his body. Oh, he's had a great offseason. I heard that shit last year. I heard it last year.
Adobe Photoshop. That's his workout routine.
And but I'm like, I heard that last year. I heard it his rookie. Everybody goes, he had a good rookie year. He graded in the 40s in his rookie year too. No, and everybody's like, and I got told that I was being condescending while she was condescending me. And they just love to hate Mack. And I'm like, no, dude, I just want good football players on my football team. Stop telling me Mack Wilson's good. You know what? If Mack Wilson properly tackles that running back, Ronnie Harrison doesn't accidentally step on him and get kicked out.
Boom.
If he was halfway as good as everybody on the internet seems to think he is, we wouldn't be in this spot. Dude, stop. Mack Wilson, are you ready? Mack Wilson, 40.5. 40.5. Get him the hell off the field.
Bro, we were shitting on Andrew Sandeo for those stats, stuff like that. Look, okay, I'm going to go in on Mack Wilson for a little bit to provide some context. He was supposed to be our first ever guest on the yacht club last year.
Really?
Look, those guys, like, their schedules are so crazy. The fact that he even wanted to do it, I really did appreciate it. He could not join because meeting or something. So we tried to get him on the next week. He said he was going to. And then we're on doing the show, trying to send it to him. Does not hop on again. Then we schedule it again. He gives me his phone number. And then practice before we're supposed to do the show next day, injures himself, and he's out. So look, Mack, all right, I'm providing context before I fucking go in on Mack Wilson. Okay. Mack is a nice guy. Okay. Yep. He loves Cleveland. He has bought in. He works really hard. We know this because that's all he tweets about is him working really hard. Okay. Mack buys in. He's a Brown. I appreciate people like that. I really do. He's done a lot of great stuff in the community. There's no doubt about that. Congrats to him on his kid and his family. That is awesome. That has nothing to fucking do with what I'm about to say. That dude is all bark and no bite. And Browns fans get fucking fooled by it every single year. Okay? Every single season. Okay? And this is his third or fourth season, whatever. And he had a great career in Alabama. But the motherfucker, excuse my language, the motherfucker cannot tackle to save his life, and that is his damn job. Okay, congratulations on making an open field tackle 30 yards down the field. Those things don't matter, okay? Those show up on the stat sheet but provide context. That doesn't mean anything. Mack Wilson couldn't tackle a fucking bridge statue. The bridge statue that is going to be our baseball team next season, okay? Mack Wilson couldn't fucking tackle a baby, okay? Mack Wilson can't tackle anybody. Can't tackle a tackle dummy. Whatever. I don't give a shit what he does in workout videos and hype videos, okay? Throw a fucking rap beat under something. I don't give a shit. Mack Wilson, when you get him in the game, can't do anything. He's all bark. He puts up hype videos. He tweets. He's nice. And that's why I haven't put a rant on about him because he's just like, we'll see you Sunday. Well, guess what? We'll see 40.2 again this Sunday against the Texans. Doesn't matter if it's the Chiefs or the Texans. That dude can't tackle. Cut his ass. Okay? It's always the people that buy in and they get us and they'll get a seat at the table. Yeah, they'll get a seat at the table while we're watching the fucking playoffs. They can sit next to me all the time. I'll get him over for Thanksgiving dinner. He can have our food. I don't care. I don't want to see him on TV. Mack Wilson's a bum. He's a bum.
Do you know that there was a game last year where Mack Wilson didn't register a statistic?
Stop. Did he play the whole game too?
Yeah. Didn't register a statistic, and he was active for that.
So I was listening to Peyton and Eli's stream yesterday, and they were talking about how hard it is to get a 0.0 like Eli Manning did against Ray Lewis. Like if you throw the ball into the ground 11 times, your QB, your whatever it is, quarterback rating is 32 or something. Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers was below that. Aaron Rodgers was a 32 or some shit. I think you have a 38. Okay, Eli got a 0.0. I'm trying to relate to how the fuck you are on a football field for let's say he doesn't play all 60 minutes. Let's say he plays 45, 50 if he's a starter. He's probably playing two. Well, no. That's actually the dumbest thing I've ever said because the defense isn't on the field the entire time. Okay. He played 22 snaps.
Yeah. And
he didn't register anything.
No. He did that last year. He played 22 snaps this week.
But you're saying that one game last year he didn't record a statistic.
Yes.
You're a start
Your job is to make tackles. That is what a linebacker's job is to tackle. He had like what's the number? 14 solo tackles last year. And he played in 14 games, 13 games?
The linebacker, like that one year Joe Schobert had like over 100 tackles, whatever. The line, like
Kirksey had over 100 tackles before.
He many times. But you're always around the play. Maybe it's like a 10-yard gain, you wrap him up. I mean, like I said, like out of context, he's like, oh, he had like all these tackles. It's like, well, maybe it's because like he blew a bunch of coverages and let the guy get 15, 20 yards. So that, excuse me, I'm taking up a lot of airtime here.
No.
Holy cow. Bro, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm out of line by saying we should cut Mack Wilson. And it's not just out of one game. We've been seeing this shit for a little bit. We've been seeing it for a long time.
I will give you a better option right now, John. JOK. JOK plays the exact same position. They're both weak side linebackers. JOK finished with a 69.5 grade. And he played 3 more snaps. Easy done.
It would not.
Elijah Lee's better than him. I'm just saying.
I would assume we'll only see more of JOK moving forward. It's just something, they're going to bring him along like slowly. And so I get that, but man, it's like, and you know what? So obviously you all know me, and I'm not gonna. I can't just, but I mean, he's not getting the job done. He's just not, and so that's like the meanest thing I'm gonna say about him. I think.
Wow, Nick, you're such a mean guy. I just call him a bum. I call him a bum. You're such a mean guy.
I can't. All I know is that we've got the second round rookie here who played significantly better and is significantly more suited to do this. So I mean, if he, and I saw he's listed as the starter still in the week 2 depth chart. So
those things don't mean a thing.
I'm just saying, and so I hope we just see JOK snaps go up and his go down, and we'll call it a day. Because,
we will.
You know what? And another thing, and I don't know how often Mack's on tight ends or whatever, but I need the Browns to stop dying to tight ends. It doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is. I know he's Travis Kelce. I get it. It doesn't matter what scheme they run, what linebackers we have, whatever. Every tight end in existence kills us. And at some point it has to stop. I know Jacob Phillips is supposed to be there. He's fast and obviously JOK. Somebody has to cover a tight end.
I will say this because Andrew asked if Mack cut if Phillips is healthy. They don't play the same position, but Malcolm Smith plays Will and JOK plays Will. And so, yes, I would think because Phillips is a Mike, so I understand that it's a slightly different position. But I think if that happens, that's what.
I would like to say.
Yes,
I would just like to say. Conversely, Malik McDowell is a man. That guy was all over the field and has played his first real game since he was at Michigan State. And I am so excited about him. And he's now listed as a starter, as he should be.
This is what I want to say about the depth charts. We got the question. If those depth charts don't mean anything, then why is Malik McDowell now listed at the starter? What I mean when I say that is those are made by social media guys. Coach Stefanski is not typing up a depth chart and handing it.
Sure.
So it's not coming directly from the people that are actually. And plus, Mack Wilson was the starter last week. JOK played more snaps. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who's on the field for snap 1, who is a starter. It's all going to be about snap counts. And I've got the snap counts defensively. And your tops were Greg Newsome and Denzel Ward, who played 97% of the snaps. Anthony Walker played 95. MJ Stewart played 92. John Johnson played 92. And then it drops off into the 70s and the 60s. Myles Garrett only playing 77% of the snaps.
Like, I know we just covered, obviously, the 2 negative points of the defense, but it's like Malik McDowell looked really good. Jadeveon Clowney is still, they all said Jadeveon Clowney's washed. I think, obviously, he's not, and he's showing that he's healthy. Jacob, you tweeted about Greg Newsome today. There's a lot of. I thought Malik Jackson was good, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know how.
You want a Malik Jackson stat?
Yeah, hit me.
That's it. I got some stats. How about this? I got a whole bunch of stats and grades and stuff. I'm gonna hit you guys with all of them, and then let's get some reaction. All right. Hey, Dan weighed in that I called McDowell at camp. It's true. I did, because we got to camp and we both saw McDowell. We all saw McDowell. We're like, I said, hey guys, I bet you can't figure out which one is McDowell. It's the one that's bigger than all the other mountains over there. All right, here we go.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I was confused. All right, I will go with just the defensive ones for now. Out of all of the 168 defensive players with at least 10 run defensive snaps, Browns' Malik Jackson currently ranks 5th in stop percentage at 23.1%. Anthony Walker played 62 snaps, a 59.6 grade. JOK, 25 snaps, 69.5. Taki, 22 snaps, 57.1. I will not tell you about Malcolm Smith because he got a 29. Anyway, your top defensive players.
Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. Your top 10 defensive players for the Cleveland Browns. Malik McDowell graded out at an 83. That is his first real first real football game. I know he played in the preseason, but his first regular season game in nearly 5 calendar years. Denzel finished with a 74.4. I put a tweet out this morning that of the 4 corners taken in the top 26, Greg Newsome ranked number 1 with a 72.6 against the Chiefs in his rookie debut. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, 69. Takk McKinley, a 69. They were tied for 4th. Takk McKinley was your highest graded edge rusher at a 69.5. Myles Garrett had a 69.0. MJ Stewart with a 68.8. Malik Jackson, a 67. Clowney, a 65.6. And my boy, Joe Jackson, rounds out the top 10, 64.7. And that is, let me see if I've got anything else. Those are my defensive statistics and grades and information.
So,
44. Patrick Mahomes was pressured on 44% of his dropbacks, which was 5th best in the NFL for the Cleveland Browns defensive line.
Those are some good stats right there. So there are some positives to take. I mean, I didn't know much about Malik McDowell's history. I just did a little Wikipedia search. Obviously, he's had his legal battles. He was cut by the Seahawks. He worked out for the Dolphins, I think, at some point last year. I mean, what a find by Andrew Berry. I mean, basically a first-round defensive pick, the way he played. Yeah. It's like drafting his first free game, like you said. He's a rookie, and he played he's one of the top ranked as of last week, based on 1 week, one of the top ranked defensive tackles in the NFL.
Yeah.
As a quote-unquote rookie, his first game. Yes, he's had his legal battles. I hope he stays out of trouble. I hope he's fixed everything. I need to do a little more information on that or more research on that. But, I mean, can we relax, everybody, after 1 week? Oh, we lost to the Chiefs by 4. The season's over. We suck. Can we remember 4 years ago when we went 0-16? I mean, we have the coach of the year. We have a GM who probably should have gotten front office whatever the year. Give him a lifetime contract. Build a statue for all these people. Okay, see, they're finding all these gems. Okay, like they just can't do anything wrong. Okay, so we're fine. We're fine.
We're fine.
I tweeted this, and I very firmly believe it. I don't care if it's 1 week. I have never seen a Browns defensive tackle play like Malik McDowell did yesterday, and he was free. He was just a free. You know, Andrew Berry was like, hey, he was like, hey, they contacted me first, so I came to Cleveland, and
yeah. It's quite literally, he said he came to Cleveland because they were the first ones to give him a chance.
That's so sick.
I've never seen a defensive tackle like that. I know it's 1 week. I don't care. That guy's a monster, and I can't wait to see what else he can do.
But we said that in the preseason, man. We kept saying, I know it's just the preseason, but it's good. He's like, I know it's just the preseason. But guess what? Then it happened again. And then it happened again. And now it's happened in the regular season. And we're like, yeah, I know. It's just one game. But I'm like, dude, this guy hadn't legitimately play. You could tell he was kind of gassed in the 4th. This guy had not legitimately played in years, and he ends up with 45 snaps, which is 69% of the snaps. Nice. Which is phenomenal. Let me catch up on these.
Bro, I want to say something right before you keep going.
Yeah.
I didn't know how big this guy is. That dude is 6'6". He's 300 pounds.
Yeah.
What a unit. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine someone bull rushing you like that?
You realize that he's not a fluffy 300. Like
No,
he is.
What was his 40 time? I'm interested in seeing.
He was the 35th overall pick in 2017.
No, I mean, yeah.
This is a thing that we actually talked about a few weeks ago. Is
4.85. 4.85.
300 pounds.
He played some defensive end too.
Yes, he was in Myles Garrett's draft out of Michigan State, 2017. That was his draft, and I told Nick this, and we've talked about it on the show. Is I went back and did a deep dive on his draft cycle once we signed him. I was curious, and I watched a bunch of his Michigan State tape. There was a lot of really well-respected draft guys in that draft that said, of all the defensive line prospects, and keep in mind Myles goes number 1 in the draft, that they thought he was the most physically gifted in that entire class. It's just like, and I know it's been like 4 years, but it looks like we got some weight in. The D-line played well. I agree.
I
agree. Myles, I will say I was surprised by Myles. I think he looked like he was a little gassed. He made a great play at the end. I mean, huge sack on Mahomes when we really needed it, and we got another chance on the offensive side of things. But I thought he would have made more noise. Now, I don't know how much they double teamed him and all this stuff.
I don't have those statistics quite yet. But if it wasn't Patrick Mahomes, it would have seen multiple sacks. I actually have something to talk about that on my notes real quick about the defense.
Yeah, I did see that Garrett. So Garrett was going against Brown. The good tackle that was traded from the Ravens. And I saw that he got pressure on a quarter of his rushes, which I guess
25%.
Yeah, so I believe that's good. That's a good.
That sounds pretty good.
It was actually, you want to know the most sick part about that?
What?
It was like one of the worst in Myles' career, and he pressured on a 25%.
That's true. Well, and Mahomes, before you get into it, Jacob, sorry, is so underrated with his feet just because he's such an elite passer. Like everybody knows Lamar because Lamar runs like a 4.4, 4.5. Like that dude's a freak. Okay, Josh Allen, freak with his legs. But Patrick is he's going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time, probably. And just the way he's playing, and other than Baker Mayfield. But he can run. He's shifty and he's quick. Yeah. So, but it's very sneaky, very sneaky.
It's actually what I was going to get into. Mike in the 330, our good friend Mike, he says that the last Browns defensive lineman that he remembers like McDowell was Michael Dean Perry. Yes, I'm old.
The Fridge's brother.
So this is what I want to say about. Yeah. This is something that I had from my notes. So I've rewatched the game. I don't know if anybody else has, but I have rewatched the game. I will watch it again at some point, I'm sure. The biggest issue was they had poor rush lane discipline. So the Browns were whipping those tackles, but they were coming around the edge, and then Mahomes would just slide up. Yeah. And it was seamless. He would slide up or slide out, slide up and slide out. He just stepped up. Mahomes' ability to manipulate a pocket and his ability to just evade. He just evades the pass rushers. The pass rushers played really, really well. 44% of his dropbacks. If you look at this is an offensive statistic, but I like to reverse it as well. I just saw ESPN put out their pass block win rate for week 1. If you look, you got to go all the way down here. We're looking. I know it's down here somewhere. You got to go down to find Kansas City. Kansas City's offensive line only won their pass block win rate 40%. 40%. The defensive line was fine. Mahomes was just better.
He's just too good. He's so good. And like we all said, to open this, it's like the Browns, they still held them to 29 points, and they have all these new starters, including Harrison getting booted. So despite the fact that we're talking about all these stats where like the Browns do rush him and they do pressure him, I think overall the unit will grow significantly. And so hopefully that coverage lasts just a little bit longer so that they really can make Mahomes pay. Because, man, he's crazy. He's crazy. I really gained. I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that the Browns, because I see the highlights of all the games, but I really focus in obviously on who the Browns play. And so, the last 2 games I've really analyzed is, the Browns versus Chiefs and Browns versus Chiefs. And Mahomes, he's a god. He is. He's a god. But that doesn't mean our defense played. That's the thing, is it doesn't mean our defense was terrible, right? I think there's a lot that you all just cited, aside from the Mack Wilson or whatever, but that was good. And we didn't even talk about Denzel Ward, who I thought was totally fine.
Great.
And so there's a lot of pieces here that they can become and I think they're going to make Tyrod look stupid, by the way.
Oh, we got a preview episode that'll come out later this week. Yeah. I've got a lot to say about Tyrod. So Greg Newsome, great. The rookies were great. Let's move to the offense. Let's move to the fun part.
I want to say first, Twitter had a really good solution for our defense. It was to fire Joe Woods week 1 after facing the number 1 quarterback in the NFL, the number 1 offense in the NFL. So I just wanted to say on the record, anybody that said we need to fire Joe Woods week 1, that I am so happy you are not making decisions for the Cleveland Browns. You're an idiot. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I couldn't have said that better. Perfect.
So dumb.
Right. So we got some offensive. Wait, hold on. Malik McDowell. Oh yeah, that got fixed. Okay. He was actually for the record, before Monday night, he was the I don't know what happened with the Monday night grades. He was the third highest graded defensive lineman in the league this week.
Okay.
I knew I had another McDowell statistic somewhere in there, and I was trying to find it.
So before you go into this, I have one more thing, okay? Yeah. We gave up 33 points to the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? And people want to fire Joe Woods and all this stuff. Last season, 16 games, sample size, the Kansas City Chiefs scored 30 points a game, okay? Yes, we gave up 33, but if you're going to fire somebody for giving up 3 points, 4 points more than the average, when the Kansas City is the number 1 offense, and they put these numbers up all the time, there is something wrong with you. Okay, they're not going to face a better offense this season. No. Okay, even the Buccaneers. Okay, if they face the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl, it's not going to be as good as the Kansas City Chiefs unless they play them again.
Yeah,
and they'll be a lot better than week 1, because people get better from week 1 to week 18. Because fun fact, like you guys brought up on the show, you get better from week 1. The season doesn't end week 1. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it had to be said, man. This all had to be said. I've been chomping at the bit to get on here with you guys. Let's have some fun here.
Yeah, fun time.
I wrote this down. I circled it a bunch of times. I gotta know, Joey. Is cereal soup?
Is cereal soup? See, I've heard that too. Is hot dog a sandwich? Cereal is soup. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say
yes.
There it is.
But it's like the thing. It's like knowledge is knowing that tomato is a fruit. Wisdom is knowing that you don't put tomato in a fruit salad. So that's what I'm going to say. That yes, it's technically a soup. Hot dog is technically a sandwich. Okay, but you don't. There's certain things you don't do. Like I don't know. You don't put salt and pepper. You don't put salt and pepper in cinnamon toast
cereal. Yeah. Have you guys, by the way, side note, and we'll get to the offense. Have you guys seen this Taco Bell's crispy chicken sandwich taco?
Yeah.
Listen. So I made a review video to it. I have yet to post it because I've had content come up. Okay, but I reviewed it because I like reviewing Taco Bell stuff. I'm going to start doing that again.
Oh.
I gave it an 8.9 out of 10. It is incredible. It's very good. It's fried chicken in like a soft breaded taco. It's just it's warm. It's very yummy. And then they slap some Chipotle sauce on it, add a jalapeno. Yeah. Very simple, very good. If you're a Taco Bell fan too, you'll like it. Guaranteed.
I just don't know if it's a taco or a sandwich.
Well, that's what the commercials are saying, man. So I mean, it's very smart marketing by them.
But in the commercial, they're like eating a taco. Like no one eats it like that. No one's gonna.
But that's the commercial though. It's the make people talk. It's the narrative. But it's a taco. It's
what? I'll tell you. That was my pregame Browns meal. That box that it comes in.
What you had that?
Yeah, dude. That was my. I was.
Oh.
Didn't even tell you.
You know what? Yeah, dude. No, it's good. It's got this sauce has like a little. like kick to it, and I don't know what it is, right? But it's delicious, and you like for five, you get your Baja Blast, you get your bean whatever taco, and then your other taco.
Yep,
dude, Taco Bell hits the spot, man.
It does, dude. It's good, and they're really good at marketing. Ed, you are hilarious. My nickname on Worst Cooks was Joey Carrots. Yep. Or greater than 15 baby carrots. That's true.
Hey, that's why. So Evita and I, we have become addicted to Worst Cooks because of you, sir. So thank you.
Thank you. It was my favorite show before I went on it. So I applied for it thinking, whatever. They probably won't take me. I got a call the next day, that day, like 2 hours later, and then it's wild. And I was back for 2 seasons. So it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I really messed up your intro too, because I could have said like you go viral every day. You've been on Worst Cooks, all this cool stuff. So you got to forgive me because when we talked, I was still like, my coffee's done now. Now I'm ready and
I can tell you're talking a lot faster, Nick. I can tell it's done. But dude, when you go viral every day on Twitter for, you just wake up and you send me a tweet and you're like, yo, you want to do some Browns violence today? I'm like, damn, fucking Nick Carnes banger at 7 a.m. Let's go.
Dude, my favorite is when he wakes up and just stirs a bunch of violence up and then just leaves. He'll send something out. He'll be like, my favorite one.
Going back to bed.
Yes, but the ones that get me the most is when he wakes up and he'll be like, Dearness Johnson is better than Najee, and then log off. And I'm like, bro, it has gotten.
That's banger because people are saying, oh, Kevin Cole's fucking dumbass. Oh, I'm going to draft Najee Harris over Nick Chubb. And then Nick Carnes is over here just like, man, he ain't even better than our third string running back. I'm going back to bed.
I'm going to bed. Fuck you guys.
Letting him match on some gasoline. It's like the meme. It's like the meme of like the giant fire and the little girl swinging on the thing. That's Nick Carnes. That's Nick Carnes.
All right, guys, let's talk about the offense, and then we'll wrap this thing up with Name That Random Brown. I have 2 of them, and they're fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, cool.
They're great. They're great. Okay. The Browns, I got a bunch of stats and stuff like that. I'm going to read them to you. David Njoku ranks 4th in overall grade and receiving grade among tight ends in week 1. Anthony Schwartz, an 82.2, is the 9th highest graded wide receiver in the NFL after week 1. Wasn't supposed to play. Joel Bitonio, a 93.5, is currently the highest graded NFL offensive lineman. Let's see here. I know I've got a couple more for you guys.
I have comments when you're done with all these. I have some comments.
I do too.
The Browns are the only team with 2 top 10 highest graded offensive linemen in week 1. Joel Bitonio, a 93.5, which was the first, and Jack Conklin, an 87.2, which was the 4th highest graded lineman of the. Oh, there's that random thing where I took a screenshot of the Colts signing Andrew Sandejo and put that in there. And your final, I'm sorry, Corey Kinnan.
Ed, stop.
Ed, no. Ed, you can't ask if anybody's getting a massage before the Houston game.
I'm sorry.
You can't
I'm
say
telling
that.
you, we can't have Ed. We can't have Ed in here. I will laugh every time you are talking.
It's fine. It's what this show is all about. It's ridiculous. I always love to say that this show stinks because I kind of like think of this show. We're not Pat McAfee, but I think sometimes we go completely off the rails like his show does. And I'm like, this is 100%.
You have the wrong guest on. I have extreme ADHD, so it'll only get worse. It'll only get worse. No, this is a great yeah.
Baker Mayfield finished with a 75.2 overall grade. Corey Kinnan, I love Corey Kinnan's stuff where he charts the off-target throws. So he does the expected completion percentage and how many throws were off target. That's like you know what I mean? Like he takes away if there was, because you can make a perfect throw, but the defender makes a better play. And that's not on your quarterback, things like that. Baker Mayfield threw 28 balls. He threw 3 off-target passes all day, one of which was a deep pass that was uncatchable by Anthony Schwartz, where Schwartz kind of stopped on his route. And the other was an interception.
Oh, it fell in the end zone. Dude, it literally fell perfectly in the end zone. That was going to be a touchdown.
3 off target. But I was told the interception in the final moment means that Baker is average because moment. Yet we are not talking about Mahomes' interceptions to seal a Super Bowl loss. That's a moment. Anyway.
That's the moment.
The number 1 team with pass block win rate in week 1 in the NFL was your Cleveland Browns with a 78%. Philly was second with 75. Those are your statistics and grades off the top of my head of the most important highlights of your Cleveland Browns.
Okay, so I have 2 comments, and they have to do with David Njoku and Anthony Schwartz. I'll go with David Njoku first.
Absolutely.
I couldn't have been more wrong about David Njoku. At one point when he demanded a trade last year, I think a lot of Browns fans turned on him. And now that dude's gonna get he's gonna get some sort of extension, which is incredible. Okay. He is by far, yes, I realize we paid Austin Hooper a lot of money. We got the John Mackey Award winner and Harrison Bryant out of college. David Njoku is by far the best tight end on our team. Amazing blocker. Austin Hooper's a great blocker too. Harrison Bryant is not bad either. And we're so blessed with tight ends on our team. But David Njoku is the best tight end on the Cleveland Browns, and I am so happy that I was wrong about him. And I'm so sorry for all the stupid videos I made about David Njoku. They have been removed because my account has been removed, and I have a new account now, so I don't even have to worry about deleting it.
Sir Yacht.
Nah, it's okay. I like this account better. Baker follows it. Nick Chubb does too. Going to get Odell soon. Anyways, the second thing. Okay, Anthony Schwartz went to Auburn. So did my girlfriend. I've been an Auburn football fan for the past 3 years. It's very confusing. Don't ask me how I do it with Ohio State and everything. But, okay, I'd like to say I've watched a lot more Anthony Schwartz football, and I was so excited finding out that he was drafted by us because I thought for sure that he was going to get selected by the Steelers because I'm like, that's fast, he's shifty. He's underrated. He, maybe it wasn't seen. He's like a first-round talent, but maybe, isn't looked at that way because like Donovan Peoples-Jones just had terrible coaching and terrible quarterback play. Okay, that dude, if he didn't play football, would have been he would have been in Tokyo. Okay, he was one of the fastest people in high school at the 100-meter. I don't know if he was the fastest, but he was one of the fastest. Like handful of people. That dude is so fast. I tweeted this and I might have been crazy. I said he's wide receiver 1, but I don't know how crazy that is going to be in the next couple of years. I really want Odell to come back, and I want to see what Odell does before we, see what happens if we keep him or Jarvis or both. I hope we keep both. I hope it works out. But Anthony Schwartz has the potential one day, yes, this is overreaction or Tuesday or whatever, to be wide receiver 1 because of that speed. That dude, he is as fast, if not faster, because people asking him about racing Tyreek Hill. I think he's faster than Tyreek Hill. Yeah, that dude's a freak. He's fast, and he made some big catches, and Baker threw some balls. He had that one drop in the fourth quarter, which is kind of killer. But it was also nice defense too. Yeah, but he made some good catches, guys. Like that rookie's first game ever on the road against the Chiefs that they don't make. I'm so excited for Anthony Schwartz.
Did you hear yes. Did you hear about his comment about his first catch, the 45-yard catch? He said that because that was a touchdown. He said that he got so excited to score his first touchdown. He got so nervous that he ended up juggling the ball, and that's what happened.
No. Yeah, it would have been for sure a touchdown, which is unfortunate. But hey, what a great play regardless. I'm not going to complain about that because I think we ended up scoring on that drive.
Yeah. So. The thing about that play is I was talking, my dad was over watching the game with us. That play and some of the other plays and the jet sweeps and the things like that, they were creeping up like they did in the playoffs. They were, because Odell wasn't there. They were creeping up. They were playing close to the line. They were going to stuff Nick Chubb. They were going to stuff Kareem Hunt. You hit that bomb. You hit them with that reverse. You hit them with a couple more shot plays to Njoku. All of a sudden, they weren't in that box no more. And that rookie had the biggest hand. Anthony Schwartz, man, I thought, maybe he plays 5 to 10 snaps a game. Of course, I thought Odell would be healthy, but, maybe he plays 5 to – listen, I think Anthony Schwartz, I was like, man, he's probably part of the solution next year. Let's redshirt him, give him a few gimmicks here and there. Hey, that young man balled out, and that offense does not go the way it went on Sunday without his contributions.
No,
I got two things on Anthony Schwartz.
Yeah.
Number one, their miscommunication on that route. Anthony Schwartz had the DB beat there too.
He had him roasted.
Baker
Yeah,
put that ball in the end zone, and if
I have news for you, Nick. He's going to beat everybody he matches up against this year. If he runs the right route, he'll beat anybody.
Yeah, that's a touchdown too, right? Because Baker put it where it needed to be, and they just miscommunicated. That's rookie stuff. But the important part is that he beat the DB again, right? And for so long, I have been between guys like A.J. Brown and T. Higgins and Justin Jefferson, and I'm trying to think of all these rookie receivers that are good. I like Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, all these guys come into the NFL and they immediately produce. And I'm like, man, it would be so cool to be able to draft a wide receiver, and even Chase Claypool, who I hate, but I think is great. They just come into the NFL, they're great immediately, and I'm like, man, all these teams get to draft a wide receiver, and they just have this stud cheaply for like forever when he's young. And I think that the Browns have hit that with Anthony Schwartz, and I couldn't be more excited about it.
And I thought I thought they hit it on Donovan Peoples-Jones as well. I will say though, as much as I think Anthony Schwartz is going to be a stud, that is where we're missing Odell in the fourth quarter when we need a veteran. Jarvis Landry's more of a slot guy. He'll catch the ball 8-9 yards and get you. He'll catch the ball every time though. But when you need that downfield threat with Baker through to Anthony Schwartz and he had the drop, you could say it was contested short. Odell probably would have made that catch. Odell probably is going to make, more catches and be more reliable in theory because he's a veteran and he's been there before. And maybe the moment was too big for Anthony Schwartz in his first game. Like you said, Nick, he was so excited. And maybe that's where Rashard Higgins could have helped a little bit if he saw more reps because he's done that before. So I feel so bad for Rashard. Like, I'm so happy for Anthony Schwartz. I want to see more of Donovan as well, but there's only so much room on the field. And Rashard, he gets kind of dogged for not being a great route runner, but then he's always like, well, then why am I open? Why am I open all the time if I'm not a good route runner? But hey, a good problem to have. And I think Stefanski's going to figure out his rotation and when to put people in. But I wouldn't mind, and this probably will not happen. Maybe it does happen. I don't know. But I wouldn't mind seeing Rashard Higgins as like the closer, like the bullpen guy who comes in third, fourth quarter, maybe gets some snaps here and there, but maybe he also gets some plays in the fourth quarter as well when it really matters because he has that connection with. I don't know. I just want to see all my guys in. I love the wide receiver room. I think they're awesome. So Anthony Schwartz, like you said, stud.
I put down on here. They missed OBJ. Without him, they do not have a true number one like Tyreek Hill or Kelsey, where they can just count on that person in the clutch.
Exactly. Yep.
Maybe DPJ develops into that. Maybe Schwartz develops into that. I don't know. But if OBJ, I think I hate to put like all this on one person. Like I think OBJ changes that playoff game. I think OBJ changes this week. Like I have been the catalyst trying to drive the OBJ revenge tour on Twitter for months. I woke up on Sunday. I put my OBJ collar rush jersey on. Yeah. I was jacked and maybe I cursed him. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do on Sunday. I'm really confused because I switched from the OBJ jersey and put on the Nick Chubb jersey and then he fumbled. So I'm really fucked up. I don't know.
Yeah. No, you need a Mack Wilson jersey, man. That's what you need to do. and then he'll play good. You'll curse him to playing good. He'll play good. He'll get a 48 ranking instead this time. Yeah.
I got to talk about the biggest thing from the offense for me. And just the whole thing, the most important thing to me, and my uncle listens all the time, and I talk to him about this, is just Kevin Stefanski, man. That dude is so I saw a stat before this game that Kevin Stefanski was the best decision maker on fourth down in the NFL last year, where like his odds of converting the fourth down when he went for it were the highest among all coaches, right? And the way that he just, you get to fourth down, no fear, right? The way that he went for those fourth downs, like so many previous Browns coaches don't, and they kicked the field goal. He put the Browns in position to win those games with his gutsy play calling. And there were so many little wrinkles. Like there was like a Jarvis rush, and I had a bet with my friends that the Browns were going to attempt a wide receiver pass because Odell's not in, but Jarvis can throw, Odell can throw. And they set it up, right, where Jarvis was going to throw and it wasn't there, so he ran. But it's like you're playing the Chiefs and you are putting in these wrinkles, these these tricks and these little things that keep the defense off balance. And it's like a lot of coaches would play the Chiefs and just go like straight up whatever, because you don't want to take any risks. Stefanski doesn't care about any of that, man. And we referenced, and I'm sure we can talk about it, but that Hail Mary was the I have never seen anything like that in my life.
It almost worked, man.
It almost worked, and I didn't see the replay, but I heard like they needed just one. Like Schwartz was running, and maybe I don't know. I don't want to blame that on him, but like they just needed one more block to spring him in the end zone. So, but all I want to say is between the wrinkles he added in with the offense and the aggression he comes out with, Kevin Stefanski is an elite head coach and play caller, and
when he goes for it on that first drive, he goes for it on 4th down and then goes for 2. And he succeeds in both of those endeavors, and it becomes 8-0. And, obviously they end up losing, but all the way through that game, that extra point was it kind of had changed some of the things that the Browns had to do towards the end and things like that to be potentially winning in situations where they were making a 9-point game instead of an 8-point, because when they scored that one touchdown to make it a 9-point game again, that's a 2-point a 2-possession lead instead of it being an 8-point game and being 1 possession. I know there's the extra or the 2-point conversion and stuff like that, but it's like he made those decisions knowing what they would carry throughout the entirety of the game. I looked at my dad and I said, listen, I don't like whatever happens this year. I don't know. I think we can go make a deep playoff run, all these things. But I said, there is one thing for certain. We got the right guy.
100%. I have 2 things. First, do you guys think Kevin Stefanski's legs hurt from carrying his giant balls? I would say 100%. Yes. I would say yes. Second thing, EMZZ had 2 really good comments, his last 2 comments. Schwartz is so lucky to have Juice and OBJ mentoring him. Could not agree more. 100%. And he's kind of echoing what I was kind of alluding to before, maybe said DPJ and Schwartz of the future. Honestly, I love Odell and I love Jarvis. If they're not around, the future is bright in Cleveland at the 1 and 2. Eventually, I'd like to see them come into that role maybe in the next couple of years if we don't have Jarvis and Odell. I don't know. I'd like to have Jarvis and Odell though, so I don't know what the hell to do. Fortunately, that's not my job. It's not my job.
Yep.
All right, guys. Final thoughts before we play Name That Random Brown.
Having talked about all this and talking about all the negativity we saw online and combating it and, doing all that stuff, I think the Browns, I don't know if we're doing predictions, but I'm going to say the Browns, I mean, they're like 12-point favorites right now. I think they win by at least 2 touchdowns. Maybe it's 2 touchdowns at the end of the game because they give up, but I don't know. I think that, obviously the Texans are not the Chiefs, but the thing is you got to respect your opponent. It's the NFL. Anything can happen any week. Okay. Having said that, I think Kevin Stefanski prepares the guys week in, week out to not flop like we've seen coaches in the past. I see the Browns winning by at least 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 17 points. They win by 17.
I love that.
I'll take it a step further. I'm going to say 20.
And Muni Lot's going to be crazy. Muni Lot, First Energy Stadium. We have never seen this before. We've never seen a good Browns team play. Okay.
We will be there next week.
Bro.
Will you be there?
I'll see you. Yeah, I'm flying back Saturday. I wouldn't miss it for the world. Would not miss it for the world.
Because we're on the fence about my group is on the fence about going, and
to the Muni Lot or the game.
On the fence about going, not to the game. So you can still get tickets to the game, but at least the Muni. You know what I'm saying? And then you walk to West 6 or wherever it is you want to go.
So I would if Muni Lot gets crazy. It's a lot sometimes, and it's like holy cow.
Yeah.
But I am going to at least be there for a certain finite amount of time. And then if it becomes too crazy where it's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
At least I could experience it because it's like, it's something that it's just, I'm sorry. Bills Mafia is great. See, the 12th man in Seattle is great. All these people are great. We have supported our team at 1-15, 0-16, 131-1, whatever you want to say, all the misery. Okay. We've done all of that and we do it better. We do it better than anybody else. And Jacob, sorry, I interrupted you, so go ahead.
No. I was just saying we will be there next week.
Yeah.
We will be there together for the Bears game with our good friend Andy Manchin. So
yeah. And I think we're gonna end up going because Joey, you bring up a great point. So all of us are around the same age, and the Browns just had the best season of our lifetime last year. And none of us got to be anywhere around anyone. took for it. You know what I'm saying? Like downtown Muni lot games.
I watched it all in my 1-bedroom apartment, like at the time.
Right. So I think the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I need to go to the Muni lot on Sunday.
Even for 10 minutes. Just
Sure.
And it's like, holy cow, I cannot handle this. Like that guy's doing something, and it's white and it's probably illegal. Okay. And those people, I mean, look, it is a shit show, and it's going to be even more of a shit show on Sunday. It's going to be unreal. But even just to go for 10 minutes just to experience it, that's how you know. You're like, oh my God, this is special. Like this doesn't happen. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So
we haven't commented on your shirt, but the Bishop Sycamore shirt is phenomenal.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that bought them too. We had a little bit of a flash sale because I wanted to hop in on that, and since I wasn't too worried about the trademarks because it was actually a fake high school, but we sold I think 45, 50 shirts in like 2-3 days, which was awesome. Like it was great. So I want to thank everybody who bought them. And to keep on the lookout, because I'm definitely going to do a lot more flash sales like this. We'll see if this comes out. There's a documentary that comes out on this, which there should be. Maybe this will come out again, but it'll teach you next time to hop on the flash sale. So
there it is.
All right, guys, it is time for Name That Random Brown.
I'm so excited. I'm going to mess this up so bad.
Right. I got two of them for you.
Are these practice squad people? Like, are these people that like, okay.
No, this first one feels too easy to me. I will give you guys a couple of factoids about him, especially for those of our audience that are listening and not watching.
I do also want to say before you hop in, you say that, I've hosted a show before, and I'm going to start hosting a show. I'll make the announcement in here. Fuck it. I also have another announcement to make. Okay. But we'll make the announcement at the end. My twin brother and I, we're going to record the first episode tomorrow. It's called Double Teamed because we're twins. And it's kind of like a name on like, porn, but like it's just kind of a dumb name. Like my boss said it and I was like, actually, that's kind of funny. We're going to debut it Thursday, do like a huge NFL show. But having said that, like hosting shows and stuff, I know a lot of people comment and we don't read all the comments, or maybe they don't think we do. We really do appreciate all the comments. We appreciate people, being here. And like you said, everybody's time is super valuable on the show. We do appreciate that. And just because we don't put it on the screen, like your comment, like MZ, like from the Philippines, like 12 hours away, like you're watching this in the morning. Like we really do appreciate that. So just because we don't acknowledge the comments doesn't mean that I'm not looking over and I'm smiling and I'm giggling. And I do really appreciate that. And I appreciate the support online and stuff. So I just wanted to say that. Keep commenting. We do see it. We appreciate it.
100,000,000%. We try very hard to get most of them up on the screen, and sometimes they just don't work into the conversation. But I always tell everybody, if they want to be a part of the show, to join us live, because if you've got a question, if there is a question, it will get on the screen. I can guarantee that the questions will be up there because I want to answer them, especially when they're really goofy. So I ask these weird questions to all of our guests. Cereal is soup is one of my biggest ones. I asked Ed in Columbus where the weirdest place he ever peed was. And so he ran with that. And the next following week we had Bree from That's What B Said on the show. And he kind of forced my hand in the comments to ask her where's the and she like a trooper, like the amazing person that she is, just verbatim just got fired out an answer. She was ready. She dropped it on the show. It was great. But I sometimes, even when the questions make me turn red. Okay. Double teamed could be the not safe for work name for our backfield.
Hey, let's get our defensive players some confidence first, and then we'll talk about that. I like Lockdown Lake. I like a lot of the other stuff. There's some good nicknames.
Yeah.
So, but all right. Anyways, ADHD, Jacob, you were saying something, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was what we were supposed to. Name that random Browns player.
Yes. So our first player, I want to say that it was either 2015 or 2017. One of those two squads is where both of these players are from. That does not mean they were only on the squad for that year. It just means they were on, because I can guarantee that this first one especially was on the squad for multiple years.
Okay.
The Cleveland Browns drafted this guy in the first round.
Okay.
When they drafted him and they announced his position, it was not the position he played in college. which to me was like, wait a minute. I was like, I thought that guy played this position, but they just announced him as this position.
So it's 100% 2015 because 2017 was either Myles Garrett, Jabril Peppers, or David Njoku.
Okay,
so,
yeah, okay, there you go.
2015, 100%.
We're in 2015 then.
Okay.
And so we're and you're like, okay, what is going on here? What are we doing? We drafted this guy. Later, his number would be stolen by the great Chris Hubbard. So let me put this guy up on the screen and tell me, can you name?
Cameron Irving.
It is! Bang, bang, bang!
Cam Irving. You know why I know this? Because I did the top 10 worst Browns draft picks. And I used that exact, because this is what you did. You went to Google Images, you searched Cam Irving, and you put the very first photo up on Cam Irving that was suitable. So I've used that photo. That's Cam Irving.
It was Cam Irving, who was drafted as a safety, but 100% played tackle in college at Florida State. And I still will never forget that. Okay. This next player was an intimidating son of a bitch. Let me tell you, he was an intimidating son of a bitch. He was one of the last of a dying breed at the time of players.
Okay.
He stole the number from Madden cover legend Peyton Hillis.
Wow.
Okay.
And he wore the number 40. He was a very intimidating looking individual. So I'm going to put him up on the screen right now. And can you name this random Brown?
Oh my God. I know who this is.
Up left arm entirely. The last of a dying breed.
That's not Scott Fujita, is it?
No. This is Scott Fujita is a linebacker. This is
his long guy with white hair, you know.
Is that a fullback?
This is a fullback. Yes.
Wow.
It is a fullback.
I'm not looking. I'm not. Is there Orlando Brown? Is that what it is?
No.
I think the guy in the chat. I should not have looked at the chat, but is it Dan Vitale?
It is. It's Danny Vitale.
That's not me. That's Breon. That's Breon. That's not me.
Yes. It's
me.
Danny Vitale.
All right, Chad help. Thank you.
One of the last.
Wow.
One of the last of the great fullbacks. He was recently with the Packers. I think he might have retired, but he was recently with the Packers.
Wow.
He went on and had a pretty good career. That was Danny Vitale.
Bro, Peyton Hillis was an absolute monster that 1 year. Yes, Browns fans are elite for getting him on the Madden cover, but you have to be.
I bought Madden for that.
But I did too. That's the last Madden I bought. But you have to be regardless you got voted in or not. That was a special year. You have to be very good. And the Browns notoriously before, I would say Nick Chubb, and Peyton had one good year, but did not have good running backs. And then he was the first, I would say. So.
Yeah. I remember when Trent Richardson was gonna bring Cleveland Browns football back to, it's we're gonna play Cleveland Browns smash mouth football. Thank God we're beyond that. I just want to say, Joey, and so I know you've got something else too, but it's really cool. I used to watch the Yacht Club whenever I could. I have long been a fan of all the content you put out.
Thank you.
And so I've told you this before privately, and I'd like to say it here, but it's you have achieved the dream, right? You create content. You've got the You Betcha behind you. You're living, half in North Dakota, half in Cleveland, and it's you have elevated to that. And so it's really cool to see someone and I know you do all kinds of stuff, all your Midwest videos and your you reference your food reviews and all the other things you do. But it's the showman, the dunking yourself in the lake and getting your head shaved and all the other fun things that you do is just it's so awesome to see someone from our sphere, elevate to that, right? And it's inspiring and it makes you say, it's because Jacob and I both dream this is what we would love to do. If that could ever happen. I have no idea if that'll ever happen.
It will happen, boys. It will happen.
I appreciate you, friend. But the point is seeing you do it, right, in what you do it lets you know it's possible, you know, and so that to me is what's so awesome about you, and you have long supported, and you reference that all the things that I do. Being able, I can't tell you what it's like to be able to DM you and be like, hey, will you help me out with this? And you've always done that, man, and I can't.
You helped us set this show up. I mean,
you did that too.
I don't know if I did that, but
I was asking
you a lot of advice. We asked you so many questions before the first episode of this show, a lot of questions.
True. Well, you guys are great. I'm really the show is great. My show, I've had a lot of fun doing. We're gonna definitely make it a little more organized, but I mean, you guys have such a tightly run ship. Whether you think of it as organized or not, it is a great show. And Nick, I really do, and you, Jacob, too. I really appreciate that. That makes me very happy. It doesn't matter. I could get 1 billion followers. I will never leave the Brown circle. I will never it's one thing is if you're a friend of mine once, you're always going to be a friend of mine. So I really do appreciate that. That just makes my whole day when people say that. So Nick, you've always been supportive. Jacob, you too. So that means a lot. And it's a lot of fun. And I think the show is really great. And you continue to build it up. It's going to be, the guests are going to get bigger and bigger. And you guys are just going to, it's such a fun show to be a part of. Even I've dabbled, I've come in here and there. Being on the full show for, an hour and a half is, it's a lot of fun. So guys, thank you. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I have one side note, because there's one question that asked about Cam Irving at Florida State. So Cam Irving was drafted as a center by the Browns, but he actually was the left tackle for Jameis Winston's Heisman campaign, and then also the left tackle. He was also the left tackle for he was the left tackle for E.J. Manuel, and then he was the left tackle for Jameis Winston's Heisman campaign.
Okay.
And then he was drafted in 2015. Yeah.
But so yeah, when you go live tomorrow, I will. Do you know what time you're going live tomorrow?
Thursday.
So we're not going. So that's something we got to work on here is live streaming it. I think it might just be a video thing that gets released. I don't know, but I think it might just be a podcast for the first episode. But I told them, I'm like, we got to do this live. Live is it's the way. Interacting with a great chat like this. Yeah, Ed, thank you for the comment, Ed in Columbus. That means a lot. It's just awesome. So I love the audio and things like that, but I was telling you guys, video, it takes it to another level. I'm glad you found a home and restream highlight clips on. I see you guys post that too. I mean, that's how you do it. That's how Pat McAfee built up his show is, he posts the streams and stuff, but he gets his money from here's Pat McAfee's reaction on Aaron Rodgers, blah, blah, blah. And that gets 500,000 views. And that's one highlight from that show. Yeah. So yeah, it's absolutely. So we'll get it eventually, but I'll make it a formal announcement tomorrow. But I guess the secrets you'll find out about on the Bark and Browns podcast. Bark and Browns show.
Love it. Love it.
You had another announcement you told me you wanted to make.
First out, yeah. So Breon watching in Fort Lauderdale. I wish I was in Fort Lauderdale right now. It's gonna get cold up here in Fargo, but yeah. I'm gonna tweet this. We'll tweet this live. Okay. So I'm tweeting this right now. I'm saying out loud. If actually I have it on my phone. One sec. Also, you guys need to everybody needs to get one of these. Okay. Can you see this? Phone. It's the cord. Don't plug it. Okay. It's a phone stand. Okay. This is vital. Over here and just here.
Okay.
I just bought it the other day on Amazon. It's $15. Life changing. Okay. Anyways, soft flex. Okay, so I have this actually saved in my draft because I was like, guys, I want to tweet this. Really want to tweet this. I, for some reason, thought for about 2 minutes yesterday at the show was yesterday. I'll wait till tonight. And I'm like, wait, no, it's tomorrow. Fuck. But I thought it for 2 minutes. Anyway, so I have it in my drafts. I'm pressing send right now. And when I sent the tweet, if you don't want to hop on the stream and see it, you want to stay here. If the Browns beat the Texans Sunday, I'm up in the fucking antes, okay? Like I said last week, I would eat a pineapple with the rind and everything on it, okay? I'm upping the antes right here. Nick's already fucking retweeting it. God damn it. If the Browns beat the Texans, I'll swim a mile in Lake Erie. Look, it's going to get cold eventually. It's going to be hard. Okay? But it's at least going to be comfortable. Okay, we're gonna have a GoPro. I'm gonna try and get my friend who has a drone. We're gonna try. My brother also has a drone too, so we'll try to get on that. But regardless, it'll be documented. I'm assuming they're gonna win. I just said by 17 points. People like, why would you do this? This is a clout chaser. One, of course I'm a fucking clout chaser. It's my job. I get paid to be a clout chaser. I chase clout. The two. I love doing this stuff. I love doing these things called torture bets. They're so fun. They're so fun to do. People are like, oh, do you do it when they lose? I'm like, no, I want to do it when they win because it's fun. And 3, I've always wanted an excuse to go swim around. I want to see how hard it is because people, like triathlon, you swim, a mile or whatever, and it's not. It's hard. It's a lot. I'm gonna be very tired after, but I'm gonna feel accomplished. I'm assuming they win. So if the Browns beat the Texans this Sunday, I'm gonna swim a mile in Lake Erie.
That's that's the stupidest thing ever. Is like, oh, you're just chasing. We are on social media.
Everybody, if you're not chasing clout, why are you on social media?
What are you doing? What are you doing?
We're all trying to get everybody to listen to watch our podcast. Like what do you?
Yeah,
I hate people like, oh, you're doing these like sponsored things. Like I love John Hilbury, but he said that one time, and I'm like, John, you've done that before, man. Like it's okay if people are doing like ambassador things and stuff. I love John, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
But you know how boring it would be if every tweet was just like mowed my lawn today, like it used to be in 2008. Like nobody cares. Okay. If you tweet about that, that's great. Like good for you. Okay. Like nothing against you. I want to tweet stuff. And maybe I tweet some controversial stuff here and there that's like, who's better, retweet for Patrick Mahomes, like for Baker Mayfield.
That's fun, though, man.
Of course, I think Patrick Mahomes is better than Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to fucking tell anybody that. It gets 3,000 likes every time I post it.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep posting it. I'm not killing anybody. I'm not harming anybody.
Yeah.
All I'm asking is who's better.
There's racists on the internet. Like, that's what I want to say when you want to get
exactly. We're just having fun. Okay. We're trying to elevate brands. We're trying to do this stuff as a living because it's been proven that you can do it as a living and make a very good living if you do it right. But you can't do it if you're tweeting about your fucking lawn.
Yeah.
Okay?
That's why I choose violence so much, man. Like, we're fucking rivals to begin with, right? I don't like you people. And B,
they don't like us.
I am going to take every chance I can to shit on Pittsburgh and Baltimore that there is.
Your violence, Nick, your definition of violence is so polite because you're just like, you're basically like, oh, like imagine having a 40-year-old quarterback who sucks as your quarterback. Can't relate.
Man, he's not good.
He smells bad. That guy stinks. He doesn't shower. Nick probably tweets it. He's like, fuck. He's like, this is what I do sometimes when I say something, like I make a video like about Jeff Schwartz where I go in and I'm like, God, please forgive me. These are jokes. I realize he knows this is part of the job. I'm sorry. I hope people don't think I'm an asshole. If they do, please forgive me. Dude, like Nick's like, this guy isn't as good as this guy. Nick's like, yo, fuck, dude.
Like,
I'm an asshole.
Mack Wilson is absolute trash, and he does not want to say it. He's like,
no. Listen, no, he has said it. He's kind of said it really nicely. But listen, Nick, like me saying Mack Wilson is a bum is kind of a low blow because he's in the NFL. He played at Alabama. Like he's not a bum. You saying that Mack Wilson isn't as good as like Jacob Phillips or somebody else isn't mean. It's a fact. Facts aren't mean. Okay, you can maybe say things a certain way to where they're mean. Or not.
You can try to spin them mean, and
then when you say a fact, and it might be personal, but look, that's what they sign up for. Okay, they're going to be scrutinized by the national media and people. Okay, by millions and millions of people. That's why they get paid a lot of money. So you saying that somebody's better than Mack Wilson, which is, by the way, any linebacker in the NFL that qualifies as a linebacker, it's just a fact. Okay, it's just a fact. Yeah. Me calling him a bum is probably mean. So I'm sorry, Mac. You're not a bum. You play in the NFL. You're good enough to play in the NFL. You are not a bum. I am a bum because I played Division III basketball and I was not good enough to make it the NBA. So having said that, Mac, you should be cut. You should be cut.
All right, guys. Seriously, before we hop off here, Joey, we can't thank you enough for coming on here. I know we had a snafu last time. I tried to wake Nick up so we could make it.
Sorry.
I did. You guys don't understand how hard I tried to make this work. And but we really appreciate the time, the support, the retweets, the likes, the advice. I mean, I know always that if I need something, you know, if I'm like, man, I know Joey would know this. Like, I know you're going to respond. I know you're going to not be a douche about it. Like, because like some people do respond to DMs, but they like are like, no, or like or whatever, like, you know, things like that. It is just like, for me, I always make this reference. When we started this show, it was about the draft, around the draft, and around that time, I had 170 followers, and I cracked 1,800 this past weekend.
Oh, congrats, man! That's awesome.
Yeah, I have a new goal. I have a new goal to get 100 each at the end of each game day, because I pick up a few throughout the week, and then on game day is really when I think I put out X Factor. I put out so much content on game days. That's my thing. I put out a really good tweet today. I did not know that people really love love a bunch of statistics, because I put out the tweet about Newsome being the highest of the first four corners. And then I put out the grades for Surtain, Horn, and who's the other one? Caleb Farley. I put them all out there, and man, and it blew up, and it's just like,
1K.
Bro, you got it. Look, you got and Nick has fucking mastered it too. And it's so funny because like he was in that worst Browns account thing with me and other people. Like they made stuff up about me and a bunch of other people, whatever. Yeah. The thing that really criped them about Nick is that he presses the enter button a couple of times to separate thoughts. Man, what a crazy asshole. That guy presses the space button 2 times. What a dick.
We had Andy Lytle on. He was the first guest ever on our podcast. And then we went on his podcast, the Not the Same Old Browns podcast, way back before he was, you know, big time like he is now at the OBR, which we love Andy. He's a great dude.
Andy's great.
But Andy was like, he goes, when you tweet, I can fucking read it better. What's wrong with being able to read? And I'm like,
people just hate it too because it gets thousands of likes every day. I mean, that's just what it is. It's so funny. But you're right. People love facts, and Browns fans in particular. I think NFL fans too, but Browns fans just eat it up. And it's not like you're taking advantage of anybody. You're just stating facts. Like that's, and they're good. They're good stats too. Like they're not just like Baker threw 300 yards. It's like, no, Baker did this, and he's also the first person to do this since like this guy, blah blah. Like you put, I mean, it's good. They're good.
I didn't have the time today, but I looked. So I looked, like the Browns put up 450 whatever yards in the opener. So I looked from now to 99, and that's the most yards they've ever put up in an opener since returning to the NFL. Dude, I wanted to look back. I would have loved. I just didn't have the time. I was like, I'm going to look back through every year and say the Browns have put up the most yards they've ever put up in a season opener ever, and it would have been super fun. But it's like shit, you know. Just I don't know, man. I go on rabbit holes of facts, and it was just stats, you know, and find shit. It's fun.
Also,
it's so
Nick uses emotion, and people don't like that. What's so wrong with? You realize that being a fan is short for a fanatic, right? Like you realize that we're all fucking insane.
So this is why I like have so much fun, and I don't care what I say. Like this is why I say I'll swim a mile in Lake Erie. This is why I'll say the Steelers fans make out with their cousins and all this other shit. Because if you just tweet stuff like Nick does, where it's, you know, amazing and it's like positive and, you know, it's true, it's factual, and it gets people hyped up and it gets people optimistic, there are still people online that are going to hate you. They're going to find something. Oh, this guy separates his sentences. This guy thinks and he makes it easier for people to read the tweet. He tweets facts. He's way too positive about the Browns. Look, people are going to find anything to be negative about. Anything. So that's why I think just having as much fun as possible doesn't matter. You're going to get hated no matter what. I mean, when you first were, you know, when you were blowing up, Nick, you were reaching out and you're like, man, people are being real mean to me. I'm like, look, you're going to keep blowing up. Okay. You're going to keep you're going to get more and more following. You get more people that are going to hate you. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. Okay. It's because there's people online that hide their profiles and their jerks. I turn off my notifications a lot, but honestly, as of recent, I've turned them back on because I love seeing the fucking hate. It fuels me, and it only makes me want to, you know, work harder and do all this stuff. So
my absolute favorite thing to do is I like to send a lot of GIFs. Like, have you seen my favorite one when someone says something really stupid? because they'll call me names without any facts to back up their point, is there's this one where Michael Scott goes like this, and it says, that's a good one. And so I use that all the time, or I'll be like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah,
and
I like that one.
They really don't like that. Breon says that Steelers fans don't like the fact that they are going to be abysmal for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
They were bad. I don't care what anybody says. They were bad Sunday. They were so bad.
So that game in that playoff game in January broke both fan bases because all we do is post the Ben Roethlisberger meme, and Steelers fans are just like 6 rings. Because they can't say they're better than us anymore because they're not. Yeah. They're not better than us, and they know it, but they don't want to admit it because the little brother.
They were in my mentions saying, "Oh,
Happy Gilmore finally learned how to putt." Shooter McGavin doesn't want to say that Happy Gilmore's better.
Yeah,
they want to say, "Oh, we have 6 rings. We're a better organization. We have a better." Ben Roethlisberger owns you. I don't give a fuck if he owns me in Cleveland Browns Stadium. Anybody owned Hugh Jackson and Freddie Kitchens. Yeah. Let's talk about the present. Okay, let's talk about the fucking president where the Browns wipe you with the fucking floor. Okay, that's such a good point.
Your video after the Browns beat the Steelers when you're in your car and you are just like yelling.
Do you want to know a secret? You want a secret? That was the 9th take I had doing it. I fucked up because I was so excited. I lost my voice right after that. Like I literally had to get it in that take. Otherwise I would have been done. I'm like, fuck it. Like if I messed up, like I don't care. I was so excited. I felt like I was going to have a fucking heart attack. I did that 8 times before that, and I couldn't get it down.
But the emotion you put into that, you talk about, using emotion like that, dude. And then like, dude, like the stuff you were putting out on draft weekend, like was like the best representative of Cleveland of all of it. Dude, like the video where what were you chanting? I can't remember. It was like 17-0 or something. What I don't know. You had like a big group of people, and then you asked them a question, and they all yell. It was like you could like all that energy. You like that's what makes it fun, man. That's what makes it fun.
I appreciate that so much, and to kind of dive into that, like that was 3 days before my main account, which is a blessing in disguise. Like honestly, blessing in disguise because. Now I know about all his DMCA stuff, and I'm building it back up, and my support has been great the past 2 months. I really appreciate that. But those people came up to me, like 2 people did, and they recognized me. And then 5 people did, and then more and more and more. And there was all these people at once. I'm like, yo, let's all make a video real quick. I'm working with Bleacher Report for the draft. And that just organically happened. I wasn't really seeking out. I was trying to seek out people, but those people I didn't. And that was just the coolest thing that all those people came up. It like meant the absolute world to me. And my account was taken away 3 days later, and people like, that sucks. Like, it's just Twitter. It's like, that was kind of my livelihood. But I'm thankful now because I'm almost at 10,000 followers right now. And it just, the support I've gotten, just means the world. Like, Twitter is my first love. Like, it's the first thing I built up. It's going to be, I'm going to grow this thing to the fucking moon. That's what I'm going to do. So just, it means everything to get the support from people. But the NFL, God, dude, to have the NFL draft in Cleveland this year, I mean, the first big event, you could say, post-COVID for anything. I mean, what a win for Cleveland. It was so fun. Being a media member, they did a great job at the Great Lakes Science Center, meeting some media members, getting to be with the fans as well, shaving my head, all this stuff, eating a lemon. Like, it was so fun. Like, just the energy that was there, man. I don't know. Cleveland, there's no party like a Cleveland party. I've been everywhere. I've had a lot of fun everywhere. But Cleveland does it different, man. I'm telling you, Cleveland does it different.
Well, guys, it's been so much fun sitting here breaking this down. I feel so much better than I did 48 hours ago.
Yeah, me too.
Agreed.
Seriously, thank you to everybody that is, especially huge shout out to our Patreon members, the subscriptions over there. Because of that, we were able to pay for the NFL Game Pass, which is helping us produce our preview episodes that come out later in the week. And I'm watching film. I'm breaking these things down. I'm rewatching the games before we come on the show here so I can talk to those things. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe anybody wants to give their time to hear me talk, but they do, and I couldn't be happier.
Anyone who knows me knows that my schedule is stupid, and the Patreons being able to let us get NFL Game Pass lets me watch, the games that I don't get to stay up for, or like I don't get to see. And that, that helps me. That helps us bring more to you. And that's amazing. So thank you, because I do all I can for all of that. And a lot of you guys are in here. Ed, you're amazing.
Ed's awesome. Ed needs to be on the payroll. We need Patreon to get Ed on the payroll next.
Right. Exactly.
Ed's on the Patreon. He's actually on the reverse payroll. We're on his payroll. He's on.
I love it. I'll have to hop on that Patreon too. But no, I want to share one more thing before we hop off, but I would love to be on again at some point in the future whenever you guys need another guest. My girlfriend is from Charlotte, and her parents' friends. She has their parents' friend. She's like this super well-known surgeon in Charlotte. I think she's in Africa right now doing stuff for 3 months. I mean, she's just well off. She has a huge house on Lake Norman, beautiful lake in North Carolina off of 77. And so she has this whole house to herself. Okay. She has, 2 daughters. They moved away. She's a single mom, or she's single now because she got the husband was toxic, whatever. But the most beautiful home I've ever seen on the lake. There's a pool. They have a pond. And then they have the lake. I mean, it's just the amount of water it's the most beautiful house I've ever seen in my entire life in person. Yeah. And she said that, all that stuff's great, but she gets lonely. And, it's great being, this rich surgeon that is works whenever. But she had more fun eating pizza on the floor in her apartment, broke as hell, trying to figure out the things, trying to chase her dreams. So when I see you, I'm not saying you guys are these broke bitches, by the way. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, we're at the beginning of our content careers right now. Now we're not Logan Paul. We're not anybody on ESPN or anything like that. But you have to have fun at the beginning, and you guys are having so much fun and bringing so much joy to people. There's so many wins in that, and there's more fun. There's more fun. I'm telling you, we're having more fun than the people on ESPN. Yeah, they're making millions of dollars, but that company, other than the Peyton and Eli Manning thing, they're scrambling. They're trying to figure things out. The people there. It's a toxic thing. You guys are doing a great job building this thing up, and you got to enjoy eating pizza on the floor. You got to enjoy when it's like, I can't figure. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay for this. Oh, I'm so appreciative that I can pay for this via the game, and pay for Game Pass via the Patreon. Like those little wins is the reason why I do think this show is going to do really well and be a huge show one day, is because of stuff like that. Not just because of your talent, but because of celebrating the little wins along the way, because you got to appreciate those before you can appreciate the house. And even if you have the house one day, you gotta, being alone sucks. That is what it is, man. There's a lot of great things here. So I'm going to stop rambling after this, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. I appreciate this. The little wins are big. And I think that applies to anybody in real life, in the chat, whatever. And appreciate the little wins, appreciate where you are right now. Because God, and listen, I'm a man of faith too. If you don't appreciate the blessings that you've been given or appreciate the good things in your life, if you're a man of faith, then why would God give you more blessings if you don't appreciate the things that you already have? So anyway, sorry if that, it's a little religion in the podcast, but I'm on a roll. That means a lot. That means a lot to us.
I can't. You know what? I have gone from a fan of yours to a friend of yours, and to hear you say that is amazing. My girlfriend is my biggest supporter, and I always tell her, never forget where you came from. So every 100 followers I get, I screenshot it and I send it to her, because it doesn't matter how many you get.
I fucking love that, dude. That is so awesome. Awesome.
I think that's what makes what you do so good, is that I know I told you this before, is that even though you're this massive dude on everything, you would not know that. With you sitting here, I hope that's not insulting. But
no, I appreciate that. But you shouldn't that should be a normal thing. It should be. I really do appreciate that. I know exactly what you're saying, but that should be a normal thing, and I feel like it always isn't. So people come up to me sometimes, and I have somewhat of a following on TikTok, Twitter, wherever. Sure, but it doesn't matter. That shouldn't change you. And Ed, great quote in the chat. This is turning into a motivational podcast. But if you wait for things to be perfect, to be happy, you'll wait your whole life. Couldn't have summed that up better to end the show. 100%.
All right, man. I think that's going to do it for this week, Nick. Perfect. Let's get us out of here.
This has very easily been my favorite episode we've ever done.
Oh, thank you. Mine too. So
if you don't follow Joey, I don't know what you're doing. So please, you'll find him everywhere. You Sir Yacht, Sir Yacht all over. So thank you to Joey for joining us. This has been amazing. This has been the Eric Metcalf episode 21. Time is flying when you're having fun. I'm Nick. He's Jacob. That's Joey. And as always,